from not relating to not relating itself, disengage from disengaging itself, disengaging, discarding itself, it doesn't grasp for itself. Disengaging has nothing to do with disengaging. Everything is from not grasping for the non-grasping itself, not grasping, discarding itself. Use the reminders to help cut through deluded knowing constantly. It will be accordingly. It will cut through the cycle accordingly. Help cut through deluded knowing constantly. Don't wait until there is crisis with all the difficulties, this and that, and then make a conclusion to cut. How can you cut that? Use the essence of cutting deluded knowing without time. It's all the time. Without choosing time, no time, all the time. In the way that has nothing to do with time. Having nothing to do with morning, afternoon, day or night. Use it all the time. And this has nothing to do with locations. Use it at any location without choosing places. Even you sit in the bathroom, you still use the reminders of cutting deluded knowing. Otherwise, there will be just the karmic habits of patterns in using karmic habits day by day. Fixation, attachment, holding on. The essence of cutting deluded knowing will purify the patterns of habits. It will purify it instantly. All the familiarity and patterns of habits will be cut off automatically. This is beyond familiarity and habits. That is beyond suffering as a normal. Suffering in the daily life, in daily routine, will be beyond this. It's difficult to live if you don't use the conclusion of cutting deluded knowing. Why is it so? Because the attempt to fixate, to attach in living lifestyle is the complication, is the troublemaker. From not related to not relating itself. At any time, it will be beyond living life at that moment, every time. From disengagement itself, at any time, it will cut off the cycle of delusion at that moment, instantly. It will be living life that has no delusion in it. This is not because of not having awareness. Actually, having mindfulness is deluded to itself. It's a kind of living. There is no cutting from mindfulness or awareness. Instead, it's become a fixation to mindfulness or awareness. True cutting has nothing to do with having or not having mindfulness. It has nothing to do with it at all. It's from not relating to not relating itself. That's why it has nothing to do with having mindfulness or not. Then it will be the true essence of cutting. Mindfulness in living life at present, there is still fixation to that, and that is a suffering in itself. That's not yet the essence of cutting deluded knowing or the enlightenment. That which has nothing to do with engaging or not engaging, whether there is having mindfulness or not, there is a cut through for both. Having mindfulness is still the attempt to live, to be, to dwell, still a fixation, not yet the essence of the enlightenment. Ask those Brahmarams, they don't cut through deluded knowing yet, still in the samsara of realms of existence. All those teaching of mindfulness is teaching in the worldly habits. It is not the essence of the enlightenment at all. It's the offering of living lifestyle in a new way for each other. However, it will be the same old repetitive, monotonous lifestyle. Living in a way with awareness is still a delusion. It's not yet beyond living lifestyle. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging is the essence of cutting deluded knowing totally. Cutting for both having mindfulness or not is beyond that. Beyond both having mindfulness or not. It is not become samsara of realms of existence. Having mindfulness is still a realm of existence because there is delusive attachment within mindfulness. It's different than the Buddha's mindfulness that is given, because that is mindfulness of cutting, only cutting. It's not in the way of mindfulness, grasping for mindfulness. From not related to not related itself, it doesn't grasp for itself. Not related, even not grasping for not related itself, that is cutting deluded knowing. Without the essence of the enlightenment within this samsara, it's not nice at all to live here. There are so many repetitive, monotonous behaviors. The knowing is monotonous and repetitive in itself. It's so irritating, so boring. The seeing is the same, monotonous and repetitive. Without the essence of the enlightenment, it's not nice to live. Seeing and knowing is repetitive and monotonous. Without the essence of the enlightenment of cutting deluded knowing, everything is difficult to live. Someone here has an experience with living life difficultly. Everyone is like that as well. All the experience is the experience of karma. Life experience is the experience of karma. It's the same thing. Even you give Luang Po heaven, let alone hell, Luang Po would not take it. Or even human realms, even Nibbana, Luang Po doesn't grasp it. doesn't take it. In Nibbana, not taking, even not taking itself, not wanting, even not wanting itself. Using the desire for Nibbana is impossible to get Nibbana because it has nothing to do with wanting or not wanting. It has nothing to do with desire. This can bless samsara continuously. If you come down to grasp for this and that, you're gonna be suffering for sure. For sure, you're gonna be suffering. Because it is the cause of suffering. All the fixation and holding on is the cause of suffering in itself, in the desire itself. Therefore, let's make a conclusion well with the essence of cutting deluded knowing. Everything is from not grasping for non-grasping itself. That which has nothing to do with grasping or not grasping. Not grasping even for non-grasping itself. That is the conclusion of Nibbana, helping end for samsara. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. Not attachment even to the non-attachment itself. That is Nibbana. This is giving that which is beyond knowing or seeing. Beyond not knowing or not seeing. Knowing is so monotonous and repetitive. It's the problem. It's creating problem. Seeing is the same, repetitive and monotonous, creating problems. It's impossible to go beyond seeing or not seeing, knowing or not knowing. That is the difficulty. Therefore, that which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging has to be given at all times. That which has nothing to do with the non-relating itself at all times. Nothing to do with relating or not relating at all times. Not relating to non-relating itself with everything simultaneously. Naturally, it will be beyond knowing or not knowing, seeing and not seeing of oneself. This is so irritating. One's own seeing and knowing is irritating. It's impossible to just disengaging. It's not enough. You have to purify disengaging furthermore. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging instead. That is purifying the disengaging, purifying the non-attachment. Discard it. Proceed it together with everything, with the great compassion. Cutting deluded knowing, helping through cutting deluded knowing within oneself, helping others at the same time. Making the conclusion for both cutting and helping through cutting is simultaneous with everything. In this way, it will be beneficial for samsara. Help ending as helping, ending as helping.